I appreciate your time, bro. This is a long time coming. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yo, this is Blahzay from Blahzay Blahzay. You know what I'm saying? When the East is in the house, East New York.
Right.
Classic hip hop artist, man, out of Brooklyn, New York.
Without a doubt. You just came from overseas.
Yeah, just got from overseas. Just came from South America.
Right.
A beautiful time in South America, man. You know, hip hop is alive around the world, and got a big dose of it in South America.
Oh yeah. You was over there with Al Scratch. I had a tour or something.
Yeah, Al Scratch formed this group called GOB. Get on board. You know what I'm saying? Galactic Outburst, GOB, and we've been performing and touring hard this summer. Getting out the message about what we're doing.
Okay.
And it's just been phenomenally crazy the way we've been received by the hip hop audience.
All right. Before we get off into the get on board situation with you and Al Scratch, I don't want to jump the gun. Why don't you give us a little bit of background around your background as far as you coming into the game? How long was you rapping before you hit big with that smash hit? You know what I'm saying? What was it like?
I've been rapping. I was rapping, man, since I was like young, man. So I had older brother and sister that was rapping. So I've been rapping since 8 years old, man, just as a little kid. My father was into gospel music, so I always had the soul and the gospel around me. My older sister was a rapper, you know what I'm saying? And my older brother was a phenomenal rapper. So I was just like young coming up, putting words together. At 8 years old, which is, way before even Danger was out.
Right.
Or even was thought about.
Did your siblings, not to cut you off, did your siblings experience any notoriety outside of the neighborhood, or that was just some,
Nah, none outside of the neighborhood. My pops was in his neighborhood in South Carolina. He was a phenomenal gospel singer, which he got notoriety outside of his neighborhood, and he was, well known in the South. With his church and with his gospel band, him and his sisters had a lot popping.
Right.
And they used to travel doing gospel. So I definitely had that in me. The music and stuff was something that I was nurtured with when I was young.
Right.
So that was definitely a blessing of mine, and that's what made me stay focused to what I wanted to do, which was music.
Okay. When you made that record, did you know that did you have any inclination that it was going to end up being an iconic record?
Nah, man, we was just trying to rep the neighborhood, man. We was just trying to rep the neighborhood, which was East New York. We was really trying to bang on other neighborhoods in New York City.
Right.
It was that's the direction of it. Really wanted to talk about the East New York.
Was that record out during the era of the Tunnel?
Right, yes, sir.
Did you get a chance to rip that joint in there?
Oh, shit.
Tell me, oh my goodness, tell me what that was like. I know they went crazy because it ended up being, you said it was made for East New York, but it kind of ended up becoming an anthem for the whole East Coast.
Yeah, not kind of all the way, man. It was something that represented the whole East Coast, and you even had like Ice Cube and his crew making a diss record, against me. You know what I'm saying? And with the West in the house.
Is that right?
Oh yeah. And you had definitely had it like representing the East Coast, but it represented the East Coast, but it even went further than that. It went further to the, to out there than that, whereas you had even everybody in every state and town was repping the east side of their town. You
right.
had East LA.
Right.
And, you have East Chicago. Using that as their anthem.
Right.
Even went further in that dimension, and which was cool, man. They really had me every place, and that was the cool part of it. Some of the things that happened when the East met in Chicago, when the East got up with the West, it was definitely a problem. Or some southern states, when the East had their anthem, so it kind of made the venues we was at a little crazy. A lot of violence went on, but we made it through. We made it through, and it became the record, the anthem for the East side of everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. What's your
East Germany? I even went to like Berlin, which is like East Germany.
Okay.
Became the anthem.
Man.
They was riding against West Germany and using that record to rep what they are.
Right. Yeah, you definitely hit a home run, bro. That's a home run. I love that record too. Did you what's your relationship like with J. Rue the Damager?
J. Rue's my boy. J. Rue's cool. We grew up, we childhood friends. J. Rue actually used to do my ad-libs when I was like, trying to make a record, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, me and J. Rue used to definitely perform together. We used to hang out together, stay at each other's crib. All that childhood, coming up into New York, good, great friends. Yeah, until today, that's my boy.
In the video, he's on the hook. You actually sampled his voice for the hook?
Yeah. He sampled him for the hook.
Oh, man.
Yeah, a piece of his voice when the East is in the house. And, he came through to the vid. And, rap it like he was supposed to do.
It was clutch. Yeah. Yeah. So, who did the production on that record? Who's credited with producing that record?
Well, the production was actually it was P.F. Cutting.
Okay, I was gonna say that because when I looked at your bio, it mentioned P.F. Cutting, who I never associated him with you, but I remember that it was somebody standing next to you the whole video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was P.F. Cutting.
That was him with the fronts. He had the fronts in his mouth, or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now,
actually, what him was the Blahzay Blahzay representative was, me and him. That was Blahzay Blahzay. The whole thing is when we first came with the label. We came up with the Blahzay Blahzay. Before it was Out Loud and P.F. Cutting prior to that.
Yeah.
So a lot of that, just carried on a little bit. But once we got the Blahzay Blahzay polished off, and I felt so different about what I wanted music to mean to me.
Right.
I wanted it to be a vibe thing. I wanted it to be energy didn't have a name. So then that's when I stopped using the Out Loud and just went with the Blahzay Blahzay. Music is just a vibration, man, and I didn't really want to put it in a box. So it was just the Blahzay Blahzay, me being a rapper, Blahzay, and we went on from there, man. You know what I mean? And here we are.
When I interviewed Yuckmouth from the Loonies, and he was telling me, sometimes people in his comments, they say things to him like, yeah, you're nothing but you're a one-hit wonder. And he told me, he said, my name's Jamil, by the way. He said, Jamil, I only needed that one hit, though. You know what I'm saying? He like, I've been eating off that one song for 25 years now.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, okay.
In regards to making an iconic song like that.
Listen, man, I go to places people want good cop, bad cop, just as much as they want danger. I just was in Colombia, right, and I didn't perform good cop, bad cop because there was a problem with the DJ.
Right.
And it almost was a riot in that spot, man. So when I'm there with the fans and my performer, that's not an issue with me. You know, they love the good cop, bad cop. They love Pain I Feel. They love so many other songs that on that Blah 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 album. If you go read on YouTube the comments from the Blah 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 album, you won't even hear nothing like that, man. It's a solid album. It's a classic album.
Right.
You know,
Pain I Feel was one of my favorites, by the way.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
So you know, when you're there with the people, you know, they appreciate some of the other things off that album that you know, like I told you, it almost was a riot in the club because I didn't perform good cop, bad cop. So many people came just to hear me perform that song.
Are you American?
Yeah, American.
Do you get asked that a lot?
Not that much. Every once in a while.
You got I don't know, it could be, you know, a New York accent or the way that you rap with it was like a cadence, sort of. You kind of sounded like you had an island background. And you was from East New York, yeah.
Nah, I didn't. Just New York is just multicultural.
I noticed, you know, I'm following you on Instagram, and I love some of the pictures that you posted, man. The pictures with Guru, who often rep East New York on record. Tell me something about Guru, man.
Yo, man, Guru is one of the biggest injustice in hip hop right now. You know, he's a top 5 rapper. He never get mentioned in the top 5. You know, Guru been putting out strong records since the late 80s. All the way into the 2000s. And it bothers me greatly when he's not mentioned in the top 5. And they have so many other, you know, it's almost like everybody's repeating the same shit, same thing. Everybody's repeating the same thing. And it gets sickening when, you know, he's not in that bunch.
Right.
And to me, he was an incredible person, an incredible artist. You know, it seems like he's overshadowed by how dope Premier was with the beats. But you know, Guru has timeless music that the older you get, the more you appreciate it, and the more you really see how deep he was with the lyrics.
Right.
And it's just a shame that he's not appreciated. But as far as Guru, the man, Guru, man, he was a great person. You know what I'm saying? It was just like when you see how like success never surpasses your character.
Right.
Guru, you really know that because you know all the success that he did have, his character was definitely right there with it, and he was definitely a great dude.
Incredible.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, I think it's gonna be one generation that's gonna pop open his music again and just go nuts and really appreciate it and give him his rightfully. You know, give him what he rightfully deserves. What
was your favorite Guru record? I got several. I'm a huge Gang Starr fan, by the way. What was some of your favorites?
Oh man, I got so many, man. I mean, I personally connected to. Do you know the ones that I was on?
I believe that you were in the Just to Get a Rep video. Is that true?
Yeah, I was in Just to Get a Rep video, but you know I was in Take 2 and Pass. Yeah, Pass That Blunt, nigga.
Nah, I didn't know that. I didn't know you was in that.
Yeah, that's my voice on Yeah, Pass That Blunt, nigga.
So you knew him a long time.
Right. That was my boy for a long time. And Chaos, how do you pronounce it? Soliloquy of Chaos.
Okay.
That was, he was talking about me in that record. And that's when he was calling me out loud. That's when he was like, yo, out loud pulls up. I had like a Volvo. I was just part of Guru's entourage.
Right.
So, he was talking about me in that record. And I was there with a lot of the recording of the record with Guru. And, like, I was definitely, like, part of that entourage, man. That was always there.
I remember I was locked up state when Royalty came out. This when BET would, Rap City was still on and they was playing videos all the time. Royalty came on for the first time in the day room when I was upstate, and it turned the day room to a block party, yo, for like about 3 minutes straight up. That I love that song. To this day, I still get that same rush, that same feeling when I hear it. As soon as it come on.
Yeah, I'm in that video too, man. I had the Ava Ricks by the train station.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm in that video.
Yeah, y'all was partying like a motherfucker in that subway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, man. That's Guru and Premier, they family. You know what I'm saying? We just go back so far. We've been through so many obstacles and stuff like that together.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so
to get on board.
Me and Guru used to party, go to the clubs, man, party and like sleep in our car, like sleep in the cars, so they can make it home, like just park over in like Fort Greene,
Yeah.
next to the projects, man, and have both our feet out the window, and we knocked out in the car asleep.
Wow. Y'all had it like that.
Yo, yeah, man. It was like, that's the type of dude Guru was, man. It was just like, I'm from Brooklyn, it's my hometown, but he was from Boston.
Right.
But he just, he just like, yo, fuck it, I'm here.
And he often said East New York. He repped the fuck out of East New York on records and shit. I heard.
He repped the fuck out of it. Not only just repped it, he became East New York. Right.
Yeah, I miss him, man. I bald hair, slick, man. I used to like how the way I love the way Guru dressed. Man, I can just go on for hours about him. He was a real integral part of my youth and shit, man. I bought all them records. Seriously, yeah, Gang Starr like a motherfucker. Incredible rap group. I feel the same way that you feel about him, not getting his nod as far as being a top 5 MC, because when it boils down to a body of work, he did start rapping in the late 80s and was still relevant, on records going back and forth with Jadakiss and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like 15, 20 years later. Straight up. Yeah.
No, to me, I don't take people too seriously when they can't really acknowledge that, man. It's like, I had my favorites coming up, which was Big Daddy Kane and all that, but it's just like when you're talking about Gang Starr, you're talking about, like, some real, you're talking about 15 years of, like, bangers, man, and a record that's still, banging. It's like, you have to put him on that list. It's a must.
Yeah. How did the, Get On Board situation formulate? How did that come together?
Yo, that formulated me. We was out doing a show at a vinyl party, vinyl party for all vinyl artists. So me and him was there, and we met back up, and it was just people was just knowing our record's so good, man, and it was just like some connection that we had with the record, that we was just like, that we had with the audience.
Right.
And so, me and I was, we started building, and we started just like linking up. And then we was just like, we was from the same label. And a lot of things that me and I went through when we was on the same label back in the 90s, but they never wanted us to speak, and they never wanted us to like make records together. He definitely kept us apart. He never wanted us to team up. So that was just a part of our conversation. Like, why was that? You know what I mean? And because I remember seeing him in the office. We always said what's up to each other, but they never kind of put us together. Like Mercury wanted hip hop to be with R&B. They never wanted hip hop to get together and form Voltron. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was something we always talked about. So we was like, yo, let's do it now. Let's put it together now. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of things. A lot of ways he lived. I was on that same vibe, which was basically taking care of myself, eating right, and moving in the streets the same way. So I really felt connected to him. I really felt we had the history, and I was just like, yo, let's do it.
Word. So when y'all do a set, when y'all's overseas, y'all do y'all separate performances and then y'all got records together?
Yeah, we perform records together. We perform a lot of his records, perform a lot of my records. And what he didn't know was that he had records out there that he wasn't hearing in New York. So when you stay in New York, you become a part of the box. And you become you don't really hear what the people want you to what the people are vibing off, what the people are feeling.
Right.
So when he started doing shows, he was like, yo, all these records that I had that people are loving. You know what I mean? And just here in New York, he couldn't get that he couldn't feel that love.
Right. Initially, when you and PF Cuttin got signed, how did y'all get that deal? Was y'all grinding in the underground and made an album, or how did that come together and shit?
Yeah, that was we was grinding on the underground, working, doing our work. We got with one situation happened. We grinded in the underground, but actually what got us to the record company it was a grind, but it was a part of one of my friends, which was named Domingo.
Right.
Took the record up to the label, and it was just like, yo, this is beyond incredible. Let's get it. But that didn't stop. He made the initial contact with them, but it took us, putting the record out ourselves, or going through the process of putting the record out ourselves, to start a bidding war with like Def Jam wanted us, and a few other labels wanted us, that made Mercury get serious and sign the deal.
Because of that record, it sent y'all into a bidding war situation?
Right.
Oh, man. So who did y'all ultimately go with?
Mercury. Jerkery, they call it. Mercury.
He said Jerkery.
Yeah, because they had a thing of, they give you that feel of a one-hit type thing, because they put all their budget, they're putting their budget in one record, and they kind of let the album disappear and get lost. So, if you ever look at Black Sheep, that was on their label, or Al Scratch, Al Scratch,
right?
A lot of other stuff that was on that label. You kind of get that same feel, like, what happened?
Yeah, they just vanished, right?
Right. You know what I mean? But just luckily, what happened was through my album, they had these other songs that was just hip hop classics, man, that people just couldn't deny. And fortunately, that's what helped us survive. That's what helped people to create that demand where people will want to come, and do shows, and people want me to perform the record.
Okay.
I guess the same thing that maybe was an issue back in the days was something that helped me now. To have a record like Good Cop, Bad Cop, like that's not a single like Danger. You know what I mean? So the record company couldn't see that as a single, but that's something that the people wanted, and it's even relevant today, especially everything that's going on with the police. It's relevant to this day.
Very relevant.
Perform the record.
Very relevant. Very relevant. That goes back to making timeless music. I don't think these days, a lot of artists these days, I don't think their objective is to make timeless music because the internet has things so accelerated and everybody in a rush to just put something out. But I don't know, you get out of something what you put into it, man. So here you are, you still here, and you still relevant, still making moves, man. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Yo, man, thanks for having me. Thanks for platforms like this. You know, that's putting the word out, man. That's putting the word out. You know, that's you know, bringing people back to hip hop, man. You know, hip hop is it's kind of, you know, it's definitely changed, but it's the same. You know, I think it's guys like us carried the torch, and you know, I'm saying it's changed because you know, when I first came out, there wasn't nobody that was in this dimension that was relevant and that was like mature.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But as it grew, you know, you have people that's been in the game 20 years and still have relevance and people still want to hear their music. So that's a different dynamic, you know what I'm saying? That's like a trailblazing situation.
Okay.
I don't know if you feel me on that, but...
Nah. I'm processing it, but I agree with you. I agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, you have classic artists that's been in the game 20 years and plus.
Right.
That's relevant. So I was saying in the 90s we didn't have that situation.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. If somebody is working, if you working and you uploading content to the internet, you gonna be in this shit. I promise you, straight up. Yeah, it's a powerful vehicle that we've been blessed with, man. I've been able to create a platform and actual a life for myself because of this internet shit and because of being able to touch base with somebody like you. And in closing, I want to know who's your top 5 New York City MCs of all time.
I'm not gonna do the order, but I'm gonna definitely throw Guru. I'm gonna definitely put KRS-One. I'm gonna put Big Daddy Kane. I'm going to put Master Ace. I'm going to put LL Cool J.
Okay. Master Ace, that was an interesting selection. From the Juice Crew, right?
Master Ace from the Juice Crew.
Okay, how do you make your top 5? Tell me, that had to be something personal that you liked about it.
I think Master Ace influenced a lot of, when you have people like Eminem,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, that really just took his style, and you know, like all the artists, you know, and I guess it's kind of being revealed now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In conversation. But I think Master Ace always was dope. And I think he was on the underground, and he was able to be dope for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always looking for, I don't like echoing what everybody say. There's some things that I have to echo because it's just that dope. Big Daddy Kane. But you know, I'm the type of person, like, everybody's gonna say Cool G Rap and Rakim. I always was like, I like alternative shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
So just in that state of mind, you know, that's what I come up with, you know, Master Ace. I think he's well deserving. It is, you know, he's definitely well deserving, man. All his work is dope. For me, with the wordplay, he always had interesting thing, and it's like a lot of times, a lot of stuff in their later years, outside is not, people don't usually count.
Right.
But, you know what I mean? It's just like the same thing with Guru. A lot of his 2000 works, people don't count as much as his earlier work. But, you know, when you look into those guys' work, they were still dope, and still spitting. It's just that the game and the business was going through a different time.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? But when, you know, if you're listening to those albums was hot.
Yeah.
So we kind of just gravitate to the 90s. You know what I mean? Because that's when the promotions was at its all-time high, and the budgets was at its all-time high. But Master Ace got a lot of great work, man. That was outside of that, outside of the 90s.
Okay. I'm gonna have to give him get out of some thought, man. Check that out, man. I know I've seen him online. I was just looking at a documentary by Fly Ty, and he was I think he was one of them. He was managing the Juice Crew and shit, and he was mentioning Master Ace and shit like that.
Well, you check out the Master Ace documentary too, because he had mentioned me in the documentary. Whereas, we had to roll up to his record company and serve some justice.
Okay. All right.
So the Fly Tie was the reply to the Master Ace original one.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you seen the joint that I'm talking about? Of course you did.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, that's what I was saying. The Master Ace had did one first, and then Fly Tie replied with that.
Oh, okay. It was a response.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Why don't you go ahead and get the fans, your social media contacts and where they can stream some of your music and stay abreast of what you're doing, my nigga.
Yo, it's Blahzay Martel, Blahzay Martell. Blahzay Martel. You can go on Facebook and go to Blahzay Blahzay and get me, or go on the gram, Blahzay Martel. You go same thing on YouTube, Blahzay Martel. And just same thing on Twitter, man. Just hit me up. Hit me up, get at me. I'm definitely approachable. And it is what it is, man. Just stay supporting hip hop, man. I'm here.
Any new music from Get On Board available online?
Yeah, we got something that's gonna be coming in next week, man. I'll definitely send it to you first.
Okay, yeah, make sure I get that. I'll put that straight out.
Word, that's gonna be popping off. You can catch us on the 15th performing with Wu in Brooklyn.
Wow.
We here, man. We gonna try to get to a neighborhood near you.
Yeah, I appreciate you, and they can check for you right here on Gully TV. Go ahead and drop out for me, homeboy. I appreciate your time.
Yo, thanks for having me, man. For real.
Yep.
All right, peace.
One.
So Harlem, man. Harlem. I be in Harlem, man. The only thing moving, man. Keeping the game up. Yup. 40th. Harlem.